come to half-mast, and I become increasingly aware of my surroundings. Too soon to tell how much permanent damage there will be. Clearly, I wasn't supposed to hear that. My eyes bulge in alarm. The recovery room nurse answers the questions I'm unable to ask. You were in an automobile accident. When you were ejected from the vehicle, your cheekbone and your eye socket were shattered. Your jaw was broken in 4 places, and your nose was smashed. You were rather a mess. Since then, you've had surgery to rebuild the bone structure of your face. You're all held together with plates and screws. Right now, you'd set off metal detectors in every airport in the country. Miraculously enough, your companion walked away without a scratch. At least we think so. He seems to have disappeared. If he ever shows up, the cops would like to have a little Q&A with him about what happened. That conversation seems like ancient history, as the peppy little nurse returns with Dr. Schroeder, who gives me a faux cheery, "And how are we this morning?" I glower at him. I try to manage a "fuck you" through my bandages, but is all that comes out. A fish's toad. Wait, that makes me sound like an ingrate. Okay, surgeon the proficient a fish's toad. But how condescending of him to refer to me in the first-person plural. Unless, of course, he really does see 2 of me. You must be dying to see what you look like. We're going to get those bandages off you right away now. Dr. Schroeder and the nurse begin snipping at the gauze and unwinding my shroud. There's never a good time for an accident like yours, Devon, but if you had to have it, you're lucky that it happened when it did. You are truly a miracle of laser microsurgery. Even 2 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to give you nearly the results that you have. Snip, snip. That's the last of it. Dr. Schroeder steps back and looks at my face with a critical eye. Yes. I bet he says the same thing when he sinks a 20-foot putt. Devon, you're wearing some of my very best work. The smug, self-satisfied look on his face should be reassuring. It isn't. Schroeder nods to the nurse and pats her on the ass, even as she pats my face with a moist cloth, then holds a mirror up to my face. I gasp.
Cut!
The disembodied voice booms over the set.
Very nice, all of you. Way to get your feet wet, Kate. You give great gasp. Welcome aboard as the new Devon Merrick. Now move it, people. Some of us would like to go home tonight before we have to come back tomorrow. I don't give a shit about seeing my wife, but I have to walk my dog.
The lights snap out in the hospital, and like giant R2-D2s, the cameras roll on to the next set. A cameraman gives me an encouraging wink and says, "Welcome to Hope Canyon." Makeup and hair pick up their massive beauty kits and lumber wearily toward their next heart-stopping dramatic venue, dragging their chairs like spectators on a golf course. I extricate myself from the hospital bed, peel back another layer of sticky bandage to be able to locate the exit and make my escape. Prop guys and stagehands go about the business of tearing down parts of the set until someone bellows, "Shut the fuck up! We're taping here!" I feel deflated, plagued by the usual overexposed, vulnerable, nagging doubt that inhabits every moment of every job I've ever had. Ever. I stagger toward the exit sign, holding my hospital gown shut so that my dimpled, cellulite-riddled ass doesn't put in an uncredited cameo appearance. As I peer blinking into the dimly lit hallway, I make out several people apparently lined up to welcome the new guy, moi. As my myopia struggles to focus, I begin to discern that these people are girls, actresses, Hollywood girl actresses, a species that strikes fear in my soul. A searing hot poker of anxiety shoots through my gut, spreading out into my limbs and sending a tremor of terror into my brain as I recognize the gaggle of women for what they are. Perfection. They are each and every one of them perfect